I give into your visions. I'll give you eyes of blue. I'll give you a podcast that wants to rule the world. Welcome back to the Steeler Wade Show. I really don't want to rule the world. Man, here we are at the eve of the free agency. We're going to start doing a little bit of tampering. You know what I mean? Thanks for checking me out. Oh, man, getting pretty exciting out there. We've had a lot of things happening. I thought about doing one of those weekly recap things, but it just takes me too long to get to the point. We're going to do a quick one today. First off, I wish you all have a great new week. So, tomorrow, Monday, or whenever you're getting this podcast, 4 o'clock, they're going to start doing their deal. Wednesday at midnight, that morning, all the other teams will probably get somebody but us. But maybe, it could be different. Khan could do something on the first day. Of course, we got a lot of what I wanted to just, free agency is such a neat thing that's happening, but the one thing about what free agency does is that it gives a more honest approach at mock drafts. You know what I mean? Like, they're really kind of silly until they're already silly. They're annoying. They're like, they're addicting and annoying. It's like when you're with a bitch that just bugs the shit out of you, but she does that thing you like, so you just keep doing another mock draft. So, I wanted to throw out some ideas out there on just the first 4 rounds, before the obvious changes that are going to happen to our mindsets for mocking out our new draft after free agency happens, right? But we've got, so many deals, big ass deals. Chris Jones signed for $95 million. He's going to sign 5 years with Kansas City. Kevin Dotson, he's getting paid. What did we get fleeced? You know what I mean? Sometimes I wonder, I know we're not supposed to think about like what ifs and stuff like that, but what if the Steelers didn't have that policy where, like, if you get injured, you get your job back? Because they had him at right guard. There in the very beginning when I can't, Fielder, I think, was hurt, and then they gave him his job back. They took him away, and then they put him on the left. And I don't buy into the fact that that's a universal deal. Obviously, can't, some players are different. But wouldn't it have been something if they would have had James Daniel just start at center at that point back then when we got him? I'm just curious, then we would have brought in Isaac. Just wouldn't that have been, who knows? Here we are still talking about Daniels maybe playing center. He hasn't snapped one ball ever for the Steelers in practices either. So we kind of got fleeced on that one. I mean, that was our own deal, but maybe he didn't fit. If it don't fit, it don't fit. You know what I mean? There's a beautiful woman out there that there's some guy that's sick of her shit. You know what I mean? So it don't matter how fine you are or how good you are. Jerry Jeudy, whatever, he's going to the Browns, which is frigging perfect in my book. He's a Brown. He underachieving ass. I can't wait to stomp him. Donkeys are so dumb, but oh man, whatever, dude. They're selling off everything. But they got him. God, not even a word. They only paid, I think, a 5 and a 6 round, 5th and a 6th. So now all this, everybody's talking about trading DIONTAE like they do every freaking year. Every year we have to go through this with everybody wanting to, we're going to trade DIONTAE. And he's just too cheap and too good. Whatever. If they do something, more power to them. But Patriots, they're getting rid of Mac Jones, right? They're getting rid of Mac Jones. I thought for sure they'd keep him. It's so So freaking cold. Coming to you from Southwest Michigan, right there in the palm. So I mean, like, if Mason doesn't sign with us, like, that would be the next best thing to us would be for him to go to New England. You know, that's what I would think. That'd be a perfect opportunity for him. Not, I mean, they're going to draft a quarterback. You know, uh, so what a good opportunity, even if he gets to start for 8, half the season, whatever. Chris Jones, Ravens. Before that, Metabuke, he signed for $98 million. It had to be $1 million. What's his name had to get $1 million more. So here we go with the first few rounds. All this popular deal. And I guess I want to talk about Jackson Power Johnson. It's popular. I'm not for it now. I mean, if it comes to them at that point, I used to think they want to get it, but now I'm like, I don't think that's no. But if they like him enough that they're confident in him, super. That's great. I don't see it. I think that I've said before that I think this draft is going to be a lot more. I think the tackle class is going to fall out a little bit more than what we're thinking. I think the cornerbacks, the wide receivers, I think the quarterbacks, there's going to be, they're going to be up there. And so I'm not really looking at that. Ooh, man, it's so cold, my hands. If it does go that way, and even more so below it, just where it gets pushed out, I don't really want to go offensive line again for the first round. It's a star position. If you really feel about it, then okay. But we just did it last year, and shout out to one of my favorite commenters that put me back into perspective on that, because it is for stars. And now if somebody like that Fuaga were to fall all the way back, because the right side is just not as valuable as the left. I mean, if they don't start picking tackles, maybe, or maybe a hair bump up, that would be maybe. But this is another. See, this whole thing is junk when you're doing this stuff before free agency. Like, here's the Newton. I like him, on the line for the first round. But he's not necessarily what the Steelers normally go for. He's not the big get off of the bus look, but I like that. I like to. That'd be nice to mix it up a little bit. You can always get rushing linebackers behind this defensive line. You know what I mean? Get somebody that get in there too. That's what I'm thinking. In the second round, I personally think that Frazier will still be available, even at our pick. Maybe a slight bump up, but I think he'll be available if they want to go that direction. I personally think they're going to take care of it in free agency. They might draft somebody in later rounds, but I think they're going to go with free agency with the center this year. I have been saying a lot about with my second round. That Junior Colson. If they go with a wide receiver, I don't really necessarily have a name on the second one, a second rounder, because I really think they're going to go quicker. And that's just all speculation. I don't like to try to predict. It's just speculating. In the third round, I want to give a little shout out. This is the one guy that, a lot of these things may be reaches or stuff like that, but it's all junk anyway. Javon Foster. He is from Missouri. Now, he is a left tackle. He doesn't have a ton of experience, but I really like him. He's a Michigander and comes out of Detroit. He ended up, I was doing research on him, and I saw this one interview. Whatever, I'm not going into that. I'll put it down in the description. It's a cool song. There's a wide receiver that I like in the third round, Xavier Legette from South Carolina. He's got nice size, good hands. Fourth round, we got a couple picks. Like I said, these might be reaches. This might be whatever. But right now I'm looking at, I like the linebacker. I can't say his name right. Martin. He's the long-haired linebacker out of Notre Dame. Ray Davis, the running back from Kentucky, or Cody Schrader from Missouri. And then James Williams, the safety out of Miami. Wounds over Miami. Ooh, that's it, folks. If you would, please like the video. And when I get excited, my little China girl, she says, shh, Steeler Wade, cut it short and just shut your mouth. Have a great week, Steeler Nation. AMF.